If you're a business owner who's smart, strategic, and you're doing well, but you constantly feel like you're stuck at a glass ceiling, you're working 14-hour days only to feel constantly reactive and overwhelmed, then this is for you. I've spent thousands of hours in the chair coaching world elites and helping generate tens of millions in revenue for my clients. I've seen that the biggest bottleneck is not a lack of talent. It is a failure to protect the most expensive asset in your business, and that is your time. I learned this the hard way. Moving from a construction site to the global coaching stage, you can't build a limitless life using limited tools. Today we're breaking down the 4 dimensions of time, the 2 keys to the zone of fulfillment, and the identity flip that finally allows you to operate like a true CEO. Today I'm giving you the breakthrough that shatters your current glass ceiling. Awareness is the first step to cure. Most entrepreneurs try to fix their time without ever auditing where the leaks are. They're trying to run a scheduling software update on a brain that is leaking 60% of its capacity into demand and delusion. Most entrepreneurs fail because they build on a foundation of feelings rather than facts, which is why 73% of people quit within their first year. To stop those leaks and move into a limitless life, you must move from feeling overwhelmed to looking at the data. As we get into our first principle, I'm going to map out the 4 dimensions of time so you can identify exactly which zone is keeping you stuck at that glass ceiling. So your first dimension is called the dimension of distraction. And these are the things that are not urgent and not important. So we all do these. There's no shame in that. There's no reason to feel guilt about it if you do it in the right proportions. Some things like Netflix, WhatsApping your friends, going on random walks, taking random drives to nowhere, to your local McDonald's or whatever it is. These are the things that don't really move your life forward, and they don't necessarily feel good because you've always got that pit in your stomach where you have a little bit of guilt about wasting time. So that's your first dimension, the dimension of distraction. The second dimension is a little bit better because at least it's helping somebody else. It's called the dimension of delusion. Now, the reason why it's called delusion is because these are things that are urgent, but they're not important to you. In the sense that this is your friends calling you at 1 a.m. saying, hey, come pick me up, I'm stuck somewhere, or it's, running errands for friends or family, and it's helping them, it's moving their life forward. But at the end of the day, these are the things that you do, but then you feel really frustrated because you knew you had much better things to do, and it wasn't whatever you just did, like taking your friend's car to the mechanics, or, picking up your friend from the airport. Now, you might say that's important to me, but if there's other options, then this is just delusion. This is you chose to do something that did not move you towards your ambitions, your goals. You had so many better things to do. This was not one of them. So now, as we go through these, I want you to imagine that you've got your outer layers here. Imagine a darts board. You've got your outer layers here, and the dimension of distraction is out here. It's so far away from the 180, the bullseye. As you get into delusion, it gets closer. And now, this is probably where a lot of you are spending more of your time. It's closer to the bullseye, but it's not right there. This is called the dimension of demand. This is where things are urgent and important. This is where most business owners live. And this is technically why 40% or more, actually, of business owners are very, very stressed, because they spend 40 to 60% of their time in this zone. So they constantly live in a state of demand and constant stress. These are the things that actually could have been avoided. So one example that comes up for me right now is, imagine, you knew your taxes were due in a month's time. You had 30 days to gather all your numbers, all your data, to submit it to your accountant, but you left it to the night before. This is things like, if it's non-business, you should brush your teeth every single day. But if you don't, then now you need an emergency visit to your dentist for a root canal or a filling or whatever it is. These are things that you should have been servicing your car constantly, but instead you just kind of hoped that all will be well, and now the car's broken down, and now it's causing a serious inconvenience, and now it's important and urgent to take it to the mechanic. And that is exactly why you are stressed out. As it results to business, you could have done a lot of things to train your team, to manage your time, but instead you just decided to put out fires all day, and now you're constantly living 40 to 60% or more of your time in this dimension, which is called the demand. So now we arrive at the bullseye. This is exactly where we want to be. This is the dimension of fulfillment. This is the zone. If we're playing darts, this is the 180. These are the things that are important but are not urgent. This is the goal. People who spend 40% or more of their time in the fulfillment zone, these are the people that are more likely to be fulfilled. People that spend 40 to 60% of their time in the demand zone usually end up spending more time in the dimension of distraction, because that's how they soothe themselves. That's where they get more certainty. That's where they get their own time. So what are the things that are qualifying in the dimension of fulfillment? These are the things that you don't have to do, but you want to do. So this is like reading your books. This is going to the gym before you put on the weight. This is meditating before you're stressed out. This is investing in your health or in your mind or in your business before, it's SOS time and you're stressed out and you've got like 3 weeks left before you have to close down. These are the things that you want to do rather than what you have to do. If we're talking about brushing your teeth, this is brushing your teeth daily before you have to go and get your teeth ripped out because you haven't been brushing them. This is the goal. When I was in construction, honestly, everything felt like a demand, and I was always reactive. I'd always stop whatever I was doing to go to wherever I was called to. I remember this one story, a business owner that I was working with at the time was a commercial unit. This guy just had a habit where he would just call you 5 times a day and everything was urgent and everything was an emergency. And he says, hey, the drains are blocked and my shop is flooding and we have no water. So naturally, when you get a phone call like that, what do? You drop everything you're doing, you get in your car and you drive for 40 minutes. And in your mind, you're playing all these games, you're playing all these scenarios. Oh my God, the place, the wood, the cabinets are broken. How much is this going to cost to fix everything? And then you show up and you open the door and you walk in and there's music playing in the background. People are doing their job. And you think to yourself, where's the emergency? So that was actually a huge experience of getting so many scenarios like that taught me that other people's demands aren't always a emergency. Not everything is a must. We decide what we make a must, or we decide what we make an emergency. So I learned from that what you want to do is really let people know, as long as it's not a real emergency, let people know when you can make it. Don't say no, say yes, I'm coming and I can make it at this time, and carry on doing the things that are important, not urgent for you. Otherwise, everything becomes a demand, and you train people, you condition people to treat you that way. They just know that as soon as they call you, you're going to drop everything and come. When I transitioned to coaching world elites, though, I realized that the people who have clarity are the people who are most fulfilled. These guys, as I said, are spending 40 to 60% of their time in the bullseye. They're not busier. They're just more aware of which dimensions they are in, and they're always able to take score. So what do you want to do here? You want to perform a brutal 7-day time audit. So you have 168 hours a week. What you want to do is track everything for a 7-day period. You can do it in 30-minute blocks and label what you're doing. Is it the dimension of distraction? Is it the dimension of delusion? Is it the dimension of the demand? Is it the dimension of the zone? Stressed people are using distractions to numb the pain of the demand, while fulfilled people use the bullseye to eliminate the need for that numbing, which ends up meaning they spend less time in distraction and more time in the zone. So here's a quick win before you even do your time audit. If something is urgent and important, do it now. Don't wait. There's no need. It needs to be done. If something is important but not urgent, then schedule it, because what is scheduled gets done. If something is urgent but not important, delegate it. Let someone else do it for you. And then finally, if something is not important and not urgent, just delete it. It's more than likely doesn't need to exist there. If you try to fix your time without becoming aware first of what the problem is, you're just going to get tired, you're going to quit, you're going to accept defeat, and you're just going to say, I can't do it, I can't fix it. So don't try and fix your day by adding more gizmos and strategies. That's going to be like putting, old software on a new phone, is a politically correct way to put it. So you must become aware first of what the challenge is, and then you can fix it. If you're ready to stop leaking 60% of your life into the dimension of demand, and you want to discuss how we can shatter those mental limits into a one-to-one capacity, send me a DM with the word limitless. I believe business owners who want to grow their income while working less should prioritize getting clear and shattering their mental limits over traditional skill acquisition. I'll see you next time, and stay limitless.